I'm gonna get on with selection one. I was planning to do an amass build, but then when I looked at that red, it was clear to me that amass is really a bug color. So in this build for selection one, I added a few packs. I think it was 2 war packs to each selection. And so I'm going to do a Muldrotha build, and then I'm also going to add, at the end, a bunch of packs for the next round for selection one. I looked through the cards, and I realized that red just wasn't going to do it. But green, for sure, with black and blue, are perfect. Because I can just do counters. So these cards, let me see if I can take myself out a little. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So these cards are going to help me with counters, and I'll go through them. But let me move things around a little, and then I'll just go through my little discussion. Let's move the packs and move everything back. Sorry, I'm always hitting the tripod. Yeah, so I should have actually presented things this way. So yeah, and it'll be like 2 or 3 videos later, I'll add 1 pack each of the 4 sets for the last year cycle, and then the new cycle of sets, I'll add the 2 packs. I think these may be the last 2 packs that I have left from the Fat Pack for selection 1. Okay, so then onto the green cards that I was talking about. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right. So these are all cards that I think will help the amassed token. I can enchant it and give it +2/+2. I can give it another counter, and hopefully I'll have a lot of other things that have counters. So these are all counters cards that will help, and they're all pre-selected into the deck. Even if they happen to be, some of them are not fantastic cards, and that's what I think it's going to continue to happen throughout these builds. There are all these commons that would normally be taken out and use and replaced with stronger cards, but that's the whole point of a standard only selection. And so I'll keep using the same cards. At some point I may trim a few, just because I don't want to build down to 60 permanents out of like 400 cards. I'm not going to do that. So there'll be trimming that I'll do later. I'm not there yet. So yeah, Muldrotha is great. I pulled a Muldrotha at my Dominaria pre-release, and I played it, and it was a lot of fun. So it's a great card. Now, one of the things for building to Muldrotha is you want things in your graveyard. You actually, Undergrowth really helps it. Surveil helps it. It's helped by a lot of different things that are found in recent sets. And so you don't want to take things out of your graveyard unless you play them with Muldrotha. That's the whole point. Okay. Now, so of course that means that it's going to be in. Now, in the case of the other cards that I have that are either multicolored or legendary, I'm just going to go through them and make selections, and then I'll go through the single color cards. This guy, it's going to be all about cards in my hand. I'm not sure he's going to be terrible, because I will have a little bit of a control shell. I'll need to protect my graveyard, and so I'm going to have things in my hand often, and I'm going to have a balance of the different types of permanents. And so even though I'm not going to be on a red-blue all instants and sorceries kind of deck, I will have enough of them. So I think he's in. Although I will not be going for knights or elementals, anything that favors knights or elementals, unless the card is so good that that clause is, even if I don't use it, I still get a good card. I'm not going to care for them. And then, of course, Narset is in. Great card. It's for it limits your opponent's actions and lets you look for cards. Yeah, for sure. Even though they don't go in the graveyard, that would have been even better, but that's fine. forcing your opponent to discard is not. I don't think it's a bad thing. So I'll take it. I want this guy in. Surveil is in for sure. This is kind of like a divination for Surveil. I'll take it. This is really an amassed deck. So this guy is one of the linchpins of the deck for sure. This guy is fantastic. So he's absolutely in. All right. And Death Touch Lifelink. What's Not to Love? This is another card that is in. I really love this combo because this specific selection has some really good black green cards, Golgari as they would be called. So I'm really glad that I can use this card, which I will. I think I want this card as well. I think I'm going to put this in. Yeah, I'm going to have a control shell that's going to allow me to go to late turns, so this is actually going to be useful. Ask Trophy, of course, is a must-have. This guy kind of sucks, so I'm not going to put him in. I mean, exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, I don't want to put a counter on this guy. I want to play that card with Muldrotha, so I don't really like this card at all. So it's out. This card is great. Yeah. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. I really like that. So it's in. Then sack a creature. That's fine because it's going to help my undergrowth count. And I can cast it with Muldrotha. And then I can tutor for a creature 1+. Yeah, this is fantastic. And of course, put that card onto the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, I mean, this is a bing, bing, bing. Win all the way. Adept, everything Adept is in. So this deck's going to have a lot of really good cards in my opinion. This guy is fantastic, but I'm not on elementals. I'm not picking for elementals, and I don't think I need the one trick thing from it incredibly enough. Okay, so it's out. Alright, so I already have a pretty good selection of cards that are already in, and I'm going to separate them into creature and non-creature. Just so that I can have a feel for how many cards I already have pre-selected. Okay, so these are all creatures. Now I'm going to try to keep a balance, but I'll do that between videos of counting how many of each creature type each permanent type do I have for Muldrotha. So already before we even start, and I think I'm going to take this guy out. Nah, I don't really need him. Because I know I've got a ton of really good cards that I haven't even looked at yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I already have 10 creatures, none of them artifact creatures. And I'll need some artifacts because then I can cast them with Muldrotha. So that was 10, 4, 8, 11. So I'm already going to say I don't want this guy in because I'm going to be so picky. It's not even going to be funny. So yeah, fine. I could cost somebody to discard something. I'm not on a discard shell in here, so it's out. What was my count again? I think I have 12 or no. Okay, 10, right? 10, 4, yeah. So I have 10 and 10. So 10 creatures, 10 non-creatures. And I'm going to be very sensitive to having multiple types of, keeping all of my types in check for my numbering. So right now I have 5 sorceries that I must have. So I'm going to be super picky on the other sorceries in my selection. I have only 2 instants, so I can get more instants. Only have 2 enchantments, and I only have 1 planeswalker. So I'm going to try to expand on everything except sorceries. I think I'm going to be tight on sorceries. Okay, so now I think I'm 9 minutes in. I'm not going to be able to finish all the creatures, but I'll get going. I'll watch my clock, and then I'll stop the video and keep going. This is actually a fairly complex build. This is one thing that I really love about Muldrotha, that this card makes you think really hard about the type of deck you want to build. So you're going, really, if you had like an X and Y axis, you're going on in one dimension on the creature, on the permanent type, and on the other dimension you're going through all these different strategies. So Surveil, undergrowth, and it really, the card is fantastic because it really synergizes with a lot of the abilities that are currently in these sets. Put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. I think Muldrotha is going to let me do that, so I don't need this card. I'm not on Defender at all. Gets +1/+1. Yeah, not really. I don't care about gaining life. Yeah, this one's in. Enters the battlefield. Sack of food. I'm gonna forget about this clause and care about the first one. So yeah, it's in. This guy is fantastic. From the graveyard, dude, is in. Nope. Even though you can play shenanigans, I've got better cards like this one. Yes, it's in. I need flying. Yes. I like that it's an artifact creature and it's in the wrong pile. It's in the 2-drops. So, but I'll put it in the 2-drops, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick it anyways. Target player puts the top 4 cards. Yes, I am on self-mill. Absolutely. Create a token. No, I'm not on tokens. I always pick this dude for sure. Gains flying. Nah, not really. I don't really care. Okay, so that was it for the 1-drops. I've got so many 2-drops. Look at that. So the selections are going to get bigger. I don't know when I'm going to do a trim. Because I know there are lots of cards that I keep looking at and that I never pick. Okay, so I already, as I said, this guy is in because I'm looking at types and I want artifacts. And Muldrotha really is helped by cards that have multiple permanent types. So artifact creatures, enchantment creatures, really great in this deck. When it attacks, another attacking creature gets where X. No, I'm not enchanting it. No. With a +1/+1 counter on it, you better believe it. I want that. Something about a +1/+1 counter. Absolutely, yes. Mana Dork at 2 that protects itself. Yeah, you bet. Adept is all the way in. So I'm going to have to be super picky with everything else. Yes, you create a food token, but I don't really care about that. Power 4. Put a +1. Yeah, yeah, because then I can proliferate on it. Yeah, absolutely, sure. Obama only gets +1/+1. He doesn't get counters. It's nice to add mana, but this guy will probably go up, but I'm going to put him in for now. Okay, so I think I'm going to finish the 2-drops and call it a day for this build, for this particular video, and I'll just keep going. Don't care about lifelink. Don't care about that either. I'm not on vampires. Don't care about lifelink. Nope. I don't care about any of these things. Target opponent a plus for, yeah, not really. Sack an artifact or another creature and put a counter. Yes, this card is really, really good in here because then I can feed the graveyard for Muldrotha. Absolutely. Amass. I am definitely amassed. Yes, thank you. Cast a spell during an opponent's turn. Put a counter. It's in. Flying, discard 2 cards. Yep, because I can play shenanigans with my graveyard. I haven't figured out what my outside the game card would be, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to worry about the fact that it's good in this deck. Yep, look at my library. Search for instants and sorceries. Absolutely. Nope, no defender games. I need flyers, but I think I'm going to wait for my bigger flyers. Yeah, no. This guy is good, but I've already picked too many 2-drops, and I want to get on with the business of having artifact creatures. Sack another permanent. You may pay 3. If you do, create a token that's a copy of this guy. Yeah, I can play all sorts of shenanigans with this card in my graveyard and Muldrotha. Yes. No. Gain haste, that's nice, but no. No 2/1 mana, I don't care about that. Okay, so that's all the 2-drops. And then I think I'm done. I'm just going to do a count and call it quits for this specific video and keep going. I'm going to take my time with this build. This is a lovely... I could do another 500 Muldrotha builds and have fun with them, each one of them. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. There's going to be a lot of trimming going on in this build. There's no way I can accommodate 20 creatures between 1 and 2 drop. And I haven't even incorporated the shoe-ins, which are here. I haven't even incorporated the shoe-ins. Alright, so we're done with video 1. There's going to be many more.